Right? How's it going, everybody? Thanks for that one. I'm just trying to make sure that the audio works here. I'm gonna see if it is now. There we go. All right, yeah, I think we're good here. So, um, let's get into the live stream, I guess. All right, today's topic we've got Sasuke 42 is currently taping, so that is going to be what we are focusing on today. Sorry about that delay. I'm just still getting some things worked out. It's my first live stream that I've done in a while, so might be some technical difficulties along with it. So hopefully not too much. Hopefully it's pretty much smooth sailing. Might have to adjust the face cam every once in a while. I think I am gonna have to turn the face cam off. Sorry about that, guys. And there we are. Sasuke 42 is currently taping. October 26th and 27th, possibly the 28th as well for stage 3 and stage 4. So, what is filmed of Sasuke 42 so far? At the time of the stream, we are almost certainly still in stage 1. It's about 1:15 p.m., 1:16 p.m. Sorry about that, in Yokohama, Japan, Midoriyama Studios, where Sasuke's filming right now. So we're almost certainly still in stage 1, and I'd estimate that we're somewhere between number 60 and number 80. About that, we had four different filming blocks, A, B, C, and D. I believe those are each for 25 runs on the spectator applications a couple weeks back. Honestly, at this point, probably a month back. And also, like for any taping, all I'm seeing on X when you put in like hashtag Sasuke 2024, hashtag Sasuke, anything like that, all I'm seeing is Iwamoto tweets and of course the anime. So, foreigners. I think we are going to get four or five foreigners in Sasuke 42. I think it's going to be a big mix of countries that come over, and most of this is due to the World Cup, since it really opened a lot of eyes in Japan to some of the talent around the world, perhaps even more so than Americans coming over from Japan in the Shin Sasuke era. Um, One of those who I would put, like probably competing is Olivia Vivian. I should say, she was packing for a trip. Um, her Instagram, two countries with opposite seasons, ninja, work, business, wedding, guest training, ninja in there. She's got some of the Live True shirts. I assume that those would be for Sasuke, and she's got Nintendo stuff. Like she's got a blue shell, she's got the mushroom, Superstar. I'm assuming that all of those things are Nintendo. Nintendo comes from Japan. I'm just saying. Um, she could be heading to. She could be in Japan, I should say, right now for Sasuke. Um, Sorry, I'm keeping an eye on the chat as well, just to make sure that we don't miss anything because I am not able to have the chat pulled up right here by me. Um, but yeah, Olivia Vivian probably competing in Sasuke 42 based off of her Instagram. More about foreigners. Renee, unfortunately, he's on some sort of tour with his partner as of Wednesday. So unless it's a one-time thing, and unless it was over fairly very quickly, he's most likely not gonna be competing on Sasuke this year. Daniel Gill, I could still see him competing, but he might have gone to the wedding for Sam and Isabella, so he might arrive in Japan a little bit late. Um, or he might have arrived. I wrote these during the week, so he might have arrived in Japan a little bit late. I could see him. He honestly, if he competed, he got there Friday. Ashlyn, I could also definitely see Ashlyn competing as a second Australian, especially since uh, the Japanese audiences fell in love with him during the World Cup. That whole pretty much just doing the flying bar in one move, which by the way, that was one of the best moments of that World Cup. That was one of the best moves in ninja history, to be honest. That was insane. I loved that. And RJ, again, the Japanese audiences loved him during the World Cup, so they might bring him back for ratings. Even though he didn't have the performance that he wanted to in the World Cup, I think that um, Japan still liked him, so hopefully he gets brought back. I'd love to see him maybe try to get some revenge on the Japanese course. Up next, oh boy, we have a picture from just outside of the Sasuke set. You can see pretty much everything there. I mean, you've got, I think you can see Twin Dia kind of in the right, Twin Diamonds on the right. That blue hue could be some sort of dragon glider. Um, Probably got the fishbone there, wing slider, rolling hill, quad steps, obviously. But the real thing that I want to talk about with this is the final stage. It is lit up green and red. And green and red, for hopefully none of you who don't know, are Christmas colors. And Sasuke, I believe last year it aired on a Wednesday. Wednesday the 27th, I believe. Yeah, Wednesday the 27th it aired last year. Um, this year, Christmas Day falls on a Wednesday, Christmas Eve falls on a Tuesday, and I actually think that tournament before that, Sasuke 40, was aired on a Tuesday. So that red and green could mean that we're getting a Sasuke on either Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, which I mean, why else would you light it up red and green? I've honestly never seen that combination on the final stage or on any of the stages before for that matter, so um, I really do hope that's the case though. That would be cool. It's would remind me a little bit of Kunoichi 4. Kunoichi 4 was aired on Christmas Day. Um, 20 years ago, 2004, almost. It would be actually, if it was Christmas Day, it'd be exactly to the date 20 years later, which would be pretty cool. But aside from Air Day conspiracies, um, now we shift our focus to what the new obstacle may be on the course. Um, one of Inui's tweets translated in the top right of the slide right here. Fighting set craftsmen all off contestants in a way that's what it's like. The new area, I hope it's going to be good. I hope the minor renewal works like a body blow. Um, and Inui himself has also confirmed that there is a new obstacle and that there are two minor modifications. If Google Translate's telling me the right thing, which I believe that it is because new area, minor renewal, it's checking out. Um, there has been some talk in places like Discord and Reddit that the new obstacle is like the wing slider because it was just the new obstacle for the World Cup and um, who knows if they're gonna count the World Cup as an actual tournament or as just like a spin-off. Um, are they gonna count it like as part of the Sasuke chronologically, so it would be in between 41 and 42, or are they gonna count it as its own thing? So like one, and then if we get another one, that would be Sasuke World Cup 2. Um, hopefully, I'm hoping that that new obstacle isn't just the wing slider. I mean, I hope the wing slider comes back. Um, but yeah, I think it's gonna end up being an A&W obstacle, whether it be modified or straight up stolen. Inui, obviously, we know Inui isn't the most creative guy on the planet. Could definitely, he could definitely be more creative with some of his ideas. Um, Swing Edge was the Falling Shelves from A&W. Twin Dia was Block Block from the Takeshi's Castle reboot. I'm trying to think of other modifications, and I'm honestly blanking. Silk Slider was pretty much just directly stolen from A&W. Um, and that side tangent here. Silk Slider was actually a good optical in A&W. Like, I don't know how he managed to screw it up on Sasuke. But nevertheless, it's most likely gone. I don't think the new obstacle's on stage two because stage two literally hasn't been changed in like I think the rolling log was the last new thing, modified thing that we got the last change, and that was like five years ago, but it was first attempted 4 years ago. And the new obstacle is obviously not on the final stage. So here's some ideas for stage one and stage three. Um, I do have some hints of the course, maybe hinting at a new obstacle. Um, this the little pink section that you see on the left, I that to me like is what the most looks like a new obstacle, although it could just be part of the fishbone, or it could be like a light tower, or it could be just the glow of the final stage beaming off very weirdly. Um, that middle part, the yellow, neon, almost white, that's Twin Dia for sure. And the blue, honestly, I think that's just the Dragon Glider lit up, or part of the wall lit up. I don't think that they would swap out the Dragon Glider. The Dragon Glider is like a staple obstacle of stage one now. Um, this right pick though is a little bit more interesting to me because obviously the final stage is the same. You can see that. But that little red, almost pillar-like object towards the bottom, um, there was talk about it being a fishbone pillar in that they were just constructing a fishbone pillar and it was just they were moving it into the right place. I'm not so sure. I am not so sure. It doesn't have the same look that the fishbone pillar would. I I forgot to put a photo on the side, but like I was rewatching the World Cup when I was making these. I had to go back. And 41, fishbone pillars look different than what we could see there. Maybe it's flipped upside down, but the fishbone pillar definitely looked different from what we could see there. Um, I feel like either it's just a pillar and they're gonna modify the fishbone somehow, or it's a new obstacle. It looks like it'd be in like the one. Let me go back. I want to see. Okay, yeah, that looks to me like a 1.3 or a 1.4. And I don't think it's a 1.3 because I think the wing slider's there. I think the wing slider came back from the World Cup, so I don't think that we're. Um, I think the fishbone is definitely. I think it's the most likely obstacle on stage one to get changed. If on stage one, that red pillar does kind of look like the thing from Kunoichi, where you had to run across the logs and then you had to hop on the I don't even know what you call it, like the pillar of the punching bag almost, and write it down. It almost looks like that, but like in a more Sasuke color scheme. Or it could be lunatic ledges. We could just have a crappy view of it. Um, it's very hard to tell because it's pretty pixelated, that image, if you zoom in far enough. But maybe they are a little bit more rectangular, prismy in shape. Um, so I could definitely see the lunatic ledges, or at least like a lunatic ledge being a new obstacle somewhere on stage one, probably in place of like the fishbone or something like that. So if on stage three, however, I could see the lightning bolts because I think it's still bar tech, and I feel like if there's a stage three obstacle that's going to get replaced, it's going to be the flying bar. Pretty plain and simple there. We don't we have no pictures, no pictures giving us hints for stage three, so we got to go off of what we think is going to be changed if something's going to get changed on stage three. Um, so yeah, lightning bolts because it's still a bar tech, and then I could also see corkscrew because it's got those like two transitions, pretty similar to flying bar. They wouldn't have to, like make a ton more room for it. So, um, more photos of the course. You can see right there the little circle, little red circle. Looks like the top of the rolling hill. So rolling hill is back 10 years later, or 9 years later, I should say, almost 10, 9.5. This shows us that the twin diamonds are back. They are, they were on set well ahead of time, pretty much the beginning of construction. I'm pretty sure all those blue tents are like other objects or other obstacles that are just, being covered in case of rain, debris, whatever may happen. Whatever may happen at Midoriyama Studios. Obviously we showed that picture of that red pillar. Just more confirmation that twin die is there. That is the twin die, like background. And this is a stage, I believe. Yes, the left photo is a stage three tarp. Really, really pixelated though, or at least it's believed to be a stage three tarp, which I mean, it's believable. It looks like the outline almost a stage three. Got the pillars up, at the top. And the other one has been rumored to be wing slider plexiglass in the Discord. Honestly, I really can't see. I can't see jack on that thing. I, pardon my French, but I can't see nothing on that. Um, I, I can't like. What is that? You can't make out anything from that. You can make out like 4 pixels, and you. That's it's like forensics before there was DNA testing. Just just bad. It's almost nearly impossible to figure out what it is. Who's in? Um, I made a list of notable competitors who are definitely in, probably in, maybe in, and I think I included some outside shots in there too. So definitely competing, obviously Yusuke, Yuji, Tada, Yoshi, Jun, Keitaro, Shingo, Hyoki, Araki, Tomo, Torisawa, Ayano, Kane, Darvish, Muto, Kajihara, whoever wins the Idol trials, whoever wins the regular trials, and whoever wins the Koshin, and Hitoshi Kano via Instagram. He's competing. Probably competing, Kaio and Nakashima, Yutaka Kian, Yamashita, Yuta Yamashita, breakout from last year. Miyaoka, Ryosuke Miyaoka, another breakout from last year, tied for first actually. I'm sure y'all remember that. Hopefully he does well if he comes back. I think he will. Wasabi, Shunsuke. I had Kano in there. I forgot to take his name out once I saw Instagram that he was competing. So make him. Kano is definitely competing. Yamada, Karen, Olivia Vivian, Saikawa, Yuko Mizuno, Sugeta, Suzuki, Yamada. Why I why do I have Yamada in there twice? Why do I have Yamada in there twice? I don't understand that. Okay. Nagano and Gio. Shuzo Uchimiya. Gio on X. Maybes. Dude, what was going on when I was writing this? Holy crap. Sorry about that. I'd call Nagano probably competing. Takasuka, maybe. Obata no Oni-san, maybe. These are all maybes now. Boru Daniel Gill, Yusuke Goto, Haruhi Taga. He was the bird owner who was, I think he was like number 8 or number 9 in Sasuke 41. Hold on. That is just, that's bugging me. I gotta look that up. That is bugging me. He was either number 8 or number 9. Yeah, he was number 9. Okay. He was like, he works with birds, is the best way to describe him. He works with birds, and he's actually not that bad. For like being such an early runner, he actually wasn't that bad. I think he's got a lot of potential. Mei Watanabe, I believe this is Muto's girlfriend who was in the World Cup. Hopefully they invite her to the regular Sasuke course now, regular Sasuke tournament. Koki Takayanagi, TBS announcer. Hideki Ajima, Shimafuri Myojo, Soshina and Seiya. Takahiro Hamada, he was the West guy who ran somewhere in the 60s in Sasuke 41. He was friends with like Sukada and Iwamoto. And I should say, yeah, Iwamoto is definitely competing. Um, Sukada is definitely competing. Sugeta, I think Sugeda's competing. I think so, probably. He's probably competing. Um, Akira Omori, he has been posting like videos on X, just these random videos of just him absolutely going to town on a carrot. And he's had hashtag Sasuke in all of them for like the past week or so. So that's what I'm basing it off of. Takaharu Nakagawa, he's also hinted at a return with some training videos. And Takaru, because, he, if he doesn't have stuff going on, he'll compete. But like, he's got stuff going on all the time with his boxing career. Outside shots, Renee, Ashlyn RJ, and Hiromu Mabuchi. Um, I would be surprised. I don't know if they're allowed. I don't know if same high school is allowed to go into Koshin twice in a row or just twice in general. That's the only way I could see him getting back in because, him, Hiruma, and Kai Nagao, none of them really did that well. So unless they're allowed back in Koshin and they win Koshin again, I don't see him competing. And here is further proof. There's Akira Amori with that hashtag Sasuke you can see. Takaharu Nakagawa with a video of him training on the Dragon Glider with also hashtag Sasuke, hashtag Ninja Warrior. Hitoshi Kano, he was seen training at Gio's course. Translated, the final set of practice is over. I was able to finish this year without any injuries. Thank you, everyone. And Shuzo, thank you so much for this season, too. So that means that he's definitely competing, and it looks like that he is healthy, if Google Translate's telling me the right thing. And Yuka Mizuno has been showing what posted a picture on her Instagram story of her at a training course for Sasuke. I'm not sure whose that is. Um, maybe I kind of looks like Matsuda Park, but I'm not sure. Um, try and error, scrap and build. I think those are hints, like that she is training again for Ninja Warrior, and she was in the World Cup, so hopefully they will invite her back, just like Watanabe for a regular tournament. And I'm gonna leave you off on this. Um, so past like 3, 4 years, I believe since COVID, we haven't gotten the numbers until like a couple weeks, just like 2 to 4 weeks after taping. Um, the trials aired Saturday through Wednesday, 5 days in a row last year, and I think it's going to be that way again. So I'm going to say November 16th through November 20th. Idol trials are going to be broadcast on the Sasuke TBS YouTube channel at some point. I'm going to go with November 12th for when those are uploaded. Um, and because we have gotten the number, I think it's like been the past 2 tournaments that we've gotten the numbers following the last episode of the trials. So I'm going to say we get the numbers on Wednesday, November 20th. Believe that is, I think it's usually like 4, yeah, it's 4 a.m. Japanese Standard Time when numbers come out. So that is like, that's midday for us in America, and like, that's evening to early night for Europeans. And that's like very freaking early in the morning for any Aussies out there. Um, I think it's going to be like the same thing last year. They're going to keep the Koshin winners a secret. And I think Koshin is going to air the first Sunday of December, just like it did last year. I think it's going to be on December 1st this year. And I'm going to call the air date based on that final stage picture. I'm going to say it's going to be Wednesday, December 25th on Christmas Day. And that's honestly about all that I've got. I'm going to check the chat one more time to see if there is anything that I missed, or if anybody still in there wants to ask any sort of questions about Sasuke 42. Hopefully, I'll be able to answer them. And it doesn't look like we got anything, so um, that is going to that's going to be a wrap, I guess. Um, I do want to go back to the final stage, honestly, because like I'm pretty sure that we haven't. I don't think there's ever been a Sasuke tournament on Christmas Day. Only like ninja related thing I can remember on Christmas Day was Kunoichi 4, and I wasn't even alive for it. So it'd be pretty cool to see something. Um, it'd be pretty cool to see it. Like Christmas morning, dude. That would be insane. Even like the morning, Christmas Eve morning, that would be insane. I just honestly, I'm manifesting it. Um, if it does happen, it's already the best Christmas gift of all time, regardless of what the actual tournament ends up being, it's gonna be my favorite Christmas gift that I've ever gotten. And maybe, like if it's a good tournament, um, best Christmas gift for a lot of the members of the Sasuke community or Ninja Warrior community as a whole. Um, Either way, I'm planning, I am planning on watching it live. I've watched it live every year since Sasuke 35, or every tournament since Sasuke 35. I'm going to, I'll be releasing more on, my schedule coming up in November and December. I do I do have a pretty fun thing planned, although you could consider it stolen from another ninja YouTuber who I'm not going to name at this moment. I will name them when I release what the actual plan is because they have already given me the okay for it, so it's not like I'm just flat out stealing it. Um, they've already given me the okay for it, so I am going to do it. It will be pretty close to Sasuke. Has to do. Um, well, that's giving too much away. I will say though, pre-game shows are coming back. I'll give that away. I want to do at least two this year, maybe three, and um, none of those, like none of the pre-game shows or um, the other thing that I have planned, like exact dates for those, and honestly, probably announcements for those aren't going to come out until the numbers, after the numbers come out and we get like a air date because I want to do them like a certain amount of days or like the morning of. So I want like a concrete, air date before I throw anything out there and I would have to, like take it back. I don't want to put I don't want to say like I'm doing a pregame show on like December 22nd and I'm not going to be able to do it. So, or like I don't want to say ahead of time um I'm going to be like I don't want to say ahead of time like I'm going to be releasing my results predictions video on the 20th, but in reality it's going to be on the 26th, something like that. So, I'll wait for an air date, trailer, numbers to come out. And I think I want to if I'm, like if I'm free, if I'm not in class, um, if I'm not on the road, because I usually go on the road about that time to go see family for Thanksgiving. So if I'm not on the road or I'm not in class around that time, or like if like if I'm not packing um, for the trip, I will definitely be, or I'm gonna try to do a like first first look at numbers, like first impressions to the numbers, first reactions to the numbers. Um, but I think that's gonna do it for me tonight, or today, this evening, this morning, this afternoon, wherever you are. Um, that's gonna do it for me. I hope you all enjoyed watching the live stream, and I hope you all are excited for Sasuke 42. See y'all.